Welcome to the SmartFlow podcast presented by Jotform, where we feature top leaders sharing their smart solutions in business and life.
Hi, Chad Franzen here. I'm one of the hosts of the SmartFlow podcast, where we feature top leaders in healthcare. The SmartFlow podcast is presented by Jotform Enterprise, which is a HIPAA-friendly no-code platform that empowers healthcare organizations worldwide through custom forms, e-signatures, and more. Their solutions enhance patient and provider experiences by streamlining intakes and automating administrative tasks, all in a secure environment. A great example of this is Body Brave. They consolidated 5 separate platforms and replaced them with Jotform Enterprise. They obviously saved money, but also saved 120 hours of staff time in the first 6 months with Jotform's data collection and reporting tools. Popular use cases for healthcare organizations including digitizing forms, replacing paper-based processes, collecting e-signatures, and much more, so they can ultimately focus on delivering exceptional care. It's also very easy to implement. I've even used Jotform myself, and it's really simple even for someone not technically minded. Learn more by going to jotform.com/enterprise. My guest today is Anna Stariha, the marketing manager, SEO, and social media specialist at Peak Dental Services. She works alongside Ryan Torreson, a leading marketing expert in the dental industry, and is specialized and knowledgeable in the AI space, and has helped pilot and expand Simplified AI's social media platform. She also built local social media and SEO and a local social media and SEO company from the ground up during her time in the mortgage industry to counteract layoffs. Anna, great to have you today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Great, thanks. Hey, as we get started here, just tell me a little bit more about your background. You were in the mortgage industry?
Yeah. So I was in the mortgage industry for right around 6 or so years. And then, when everything kind of started to hit a little bit, massive layoffs, so on and so forth, I was looking for a different avenue to go towards. And that's where dental came to be. And very grateful for that opportunity.
So you built a local social media and SEO company from the ground up during that time. Tell me a little bit about that.
I did, yeah. So in order to kind of beat layoffs and whatnot, I had started my own social media business. And with that, I was able to target local companies and whatnot within Colorado that slowly expanded to Minnesota. That is where I'm originally from. And so over the years, working with local businesses, I would custom create the social media pieces, their captions, hashtags, and be able to post on multiple platforms. So depending on what they had, that would be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google My Business was a really big thing. And with one of the businesses we actually saw, it was organic, all organic. There wasn't any paid social. And 1 month we had seen for a business, on their Facebook page, they had 24,000 Facebook visits in 1 month. And then their content had hit 22,000 views in a month, which was amazing. And we were able to generate a lot of leads from that, high conversions. And it was really great, very successful. So I really, really enjoyed it. And then the SEO aspect, we used a tool. It was an AI tool. And again, it would go in, help kind of redirect and rewrite some of their website data and whatnot, their meta descriptions, their H1, H2 tags, so on and so forth. And that's kind of too, with the social media aspect, it was just getting to be a lot as far as custom creating everything, writing everything, coming up with the ideas. And so that's where Simplified came in. And so I was looking for a tool that would kind of help make my life a bit easier and not so stressful. And so I was able to connect with the CEO on that and kind of help build the platform to the way, I wouldn't say how I like it, but kind of, but it made my life a lot easier. The AI system became smarter. I was able to create, back-end workflows to tell the AI system, this is what I need, this is what I want, and content around the season, the month, so on and so forth.
How did you become so adept at this? Do you have a background in the computer industry or something?
I don't know. So I graduated with a degree in marketing, and the AI space just kind of always intrigued me. And it's something too where, especially when I speak to the younger generation, as far as, hey, what are you learning in college or so on and so forth. And a lot of the answers are always chat GPT. And I, I don't really love using chat GPT. It was just something where, I would go in, Google search, do a ton of research, what's new, what's upcoming. And that's where, I would dabble in the DeepSeek AI, Gemini, so on and so forth. And so, once you get in it, you really, really just dive in,
Mhm.
take it apart, see, how it can help you in your everyday life and work life.
So you talked about getting some great results from organic social media, like no paid social media. How do you kind of like if you don't boost it or anything? What did you find to be some of the keys to getting those kind of numbers?
Yeah. So the big thing that a lot of individuals and businesses that I see don't do is you have to go in and share your content to different groups. You have to go in to your local community groups and share your content. Um, and that's honestly the biggest way that we grew that stuff organically. And people would comment on their posts, and I would tell my clients, you have to make sure that you're commenting, you're going in and liking stuff, you're active within your social media, because the algorithm isn't just going to push your content, just because it's you or your business. You have to go in and communicate with those individuals that are touching your content, your stuff, and the algorithms will reward you for that.
Is the nature of the content itself um, particularly important? Like, do you just want to be promoting your business, or do you want to be sharing an opinion or something like that?
Yeah, so it really depends. A lot of times, what I would do is say, hey, are there certain things that you want pushed on your social media for the next month? Because I would create content a month in advance. And, they would let me know some of the things that they had going on. And so it's okay to post, some sales stuff or, promote your business and whatnot. But the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is you have to tell a story. You have to connect with the consumer that's reading it and tailor your content to the individuals that are reading it. And so we would do a lot of basically taking a review and creating it into a story. How did your business basically help solve the problem that this individual was having? And so one of the big issues that that they were running into was people would hire them as contractors. It was total home helpers in Minnesota is what they were, and they they would come into the home and people would grab their dogs and say, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry." Like, and you know, they love dogs, and that was one of the biggest things that it kind of helped drive traffic towards their business. Is we love dogs, and they got it and put on their shirts, and that was a big thing that we started to push too. Is hey, you need flooring redone. We love dogs. We love being able to make sure that your home works for your dog. Um, Hire us, and a lot of that seemed to help quite a bit. So
Nice, very nice. So, as far as now, you're working for Peak Dental. Tell me a little bit about your role there.
yeah, so I do quite a few things there. So I run all the offices, social media. I help with the SEO for the company, and then being the marketing manager. So I help edit, create video. Same thing with photo, any website edits and whatnot that the offices need help with. I do that. I create anything they need, custom created. I do that as well. The graphic designer, kind of, I dabble in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Um, Help with strategy and whatnot if an office isn't really seeing a lot of drive and push. So
So I think if I did my research right, there are over 60 offices. Is that right?
that's
60
correct. Yeah,
locations, and you
you
do
got
the
it.
social media for all of those. How does that work for you?
Yeah, so I kind of create basically kind of a structured outline where I can mass create it for a lot of the general offices and whatnot that do the same services, and then for the specialty ones, I kind of have to do something different and pivot a little bit. But we also use Simplified for peak dental services, and so I've created 60 different workflows where I can input, a caption, a very generalized caption, and it will generate an absolute tailored message as well as a graphic for that specific office. So it cuts my time down quite a bit in order to, create that content and whatnot.
How do you kind of balance maybe maintaining individual brand identities, 'cause since there's so many offices, while still kind of promoting the overarching Peak Dental brand?
Yeah, so as far as like individual offices, again, that AI system helps a ton because
Mhm.
it'll, again, rephrase it so that it's very specific towards that office location. So that helps with localized SEO and whatnot, especially social SEO. And as far as peak, um, that one again, it's very different. I do a lot of research as far as what's going on in the local dental industry. That's a good thing to push. I do a lot of, I would say, kind of different items for peak. So, for example, AI video. So I can create a graphic using AI and then put it into one of our systems that we have and create a video out of it. So something different, something unique that's going to grab individuals' attention because that Peak Dental's social media is more or less a B2B focus rather than a B2C.
Mm.
And so we really try to hone in and hammer in on LinkedIn, especially too with recruiting purposes.
So, why would a dental practice be B2B focused?
So we really want to, recruit the best of the best dentists, the best specialists, best hygienists. And so as far as why the B2B and not B2C, because we're trying to drive those individuals to our practices. Like, come work at Peak Dental. It's a great location. Here are some of the things that we do to help our offices grow and obtain more leads and have higher conversion rates.
So, patient acquisition for you as like the social media manager is not your number one priority.
Yeah, so it helps a bit as far as like the offices go. As far as the offices go, yeah, that's more of a B2C concept.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as Peak Dental, that's absolutely a B2B. So yeah, we're I'm trying to get stuff updated and whatnot to where we can grow their organic social media and help drive, yeah, patient acquisition within that. But because prior to Peak didn't have social media before Ryan and I came on and stepped in. And so now, we're able to drive that in organic SEO where if you search, dentist near me, we hopefully you can see those images and whatnot within the Google image search and
Mhm.
so on.
How do you kind of like stay ahead of maybe the trends in digital marketing?
I do a lot of research. And also TikTok is my best friend. um, as much you know, TikTok is a great platform. It's a great growing platform. There's a lot of knowledge to be learned on that. And so I will do a lot of Google research, see what are some of the new and upcoming trends, and what's something I need to keep my eye out for. And if I see a couple things that are really relevant, then I'll do a deeper search on that. But also look on TikTok because I'll never sit here and say I am the most knowledgeable person within these spaces because there's always somebody that's ahead and that knows a little bit more than you. And so if people are willing to knowledge share as far on those topics or items, why not grab that and not have to reinvent the wheel.
So when you say TikTok is your best friend, how did that kind of come about and when?
Yeah, so just watch TikTok for hours upon hours, and the algorithm shifts based off of what you're watching, what you're liking, sharing, and I started to figure out, like, I'm learning a lot on TikTok on some of these simple life hacks or simple house cleaning tips, and I thought, why not research like some of the things that I really need. Um, as far as some of the AI systems that other people are using that they see great success in. How to grow your business organically or, so on and so forth. And so that's kind of where that really flourished and whatnot.
Did you come to appreciate TikTok professionally or personally first?
Personally, first. Absolutely.
How do you kind of see the role of SEO and social media and digital advertising evolving, within the dental industry, maybe in the next few years?
I would say it's going to be massive, especially with the AI systems. I think the common misconception, and that I've heard a lot of, especially within the dental space, is like, oh, AI, not yet, no, and that's the wrong move, the wrong pivot. There's going to be dental offices that are way ahead of the game who are using AI and utilizing that, and that goes too as far as the social media and SEO aspect, where in my opinion, the algorithms and whatnot have not caught on as far as, hey, this is an AI piece. We're not pushing it. It's not, a custom whatever. I've actually seen a lot of the AI graphics, videos, and whatnot perform better than, some of the other content that we've been able to push. And so that's going to be really, really big within the dental space, because you do see, some dentists pushing videos, and there's going to be a time or two where you hit, a viral streak and then it dies out. But that does not mean that's going to, grow your practice, grow, your business. People are going to want to go and, um, purchase your product or so on and so forth. What I tell a lot of individuals is social media is more or less it's a social proof concept where I am searching for a dentist. I see on your Google My Business page that you've posted updates, um, promoting your practice, your hygienist, whatever, a recent patient. And then I'm going to go and check out all the rest of your stuff. What's your Facebook page look like? What are your reviews? So on and so forth. And that then creates the trust, because each individual platform is very, very different. In my opinion, again, Instagram is more of a product based platform rather than a service based, whereas Facebook, again, in my opinion, is more of that service base than buying a product
Hmm.
off of it.
Sure. Yeah. Very interesting. Hey, one more question about TikTok. I'm just curious. So it's B2B and you're targeting, the top professionals in the dental industry out there. Are they active on TikTok?
I, in my opinion, I don't really think so. I think and what I've seen in the past is if a dental, professional is on there, on TikTok, it's more or less to, try to go viral and, try to grow their individual practice per se, not so much of a recruiting aspect. That's where, again, I think you more or less lean towards LinkedIn because, if I'm going on a job search or a job hunt, I'm not going to TikTok to go find my next career. I'm going to a professional source where I know there's going to be jobs upon jobs listed. Um, I don't think it's more or less of, I think it's more brand recognition and awareness as far as TikTok goes, but not necessarily a huge drive of recruiting.
Okay. Hey, I have one more question for you, but first, tell me how people can find out more about Peak Dental.
Yeah, so you can go to www.peakdentalservices.com. And from there, we've got our job listings and whatnot if you're interested. We have, a lot of resources available that talk about who Peak Dental Services is, what we offer to dentists, hygienists, so on and so forth. And we also too have, a list of our locations, their websites and whatnot. And so I would say that that's the best place to go to learn more about Peak Dental.
What excites you the most about working, in this field, marketing and SEO and social media for an organization like Peak Dental?
I don't want to say allowed, but I've been allowed to really, really get creative as far as, how I want to market. So, and, how to help the business and whatnot. To give you an example here, we use a AI video system where rather than me sitting on a camera telling individuals how to, navigate our marketing store or navigating Simplified's platform, I can tell this AI system exactly what I want, and it's an AI individual will come out, show you, talk to you, very natural language, and so on. But that's kind of the whole thing with Peak is I've been able to really dabble into the things that sometimes I haven't been able to before, just didn't have the time. And so that has really been able to help me grow my career and really expand my knowledge, especially within the dental space, and how to be different too. That's the big thing is how are you different compared to every other dental practice? Because there's tons, there are tons everywhere. So it's creating just a different layout, a different system, a different look so that you're capturing the eyes of many, many people.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Anna, it's been great to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time and all of your insights today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the SmartFlow podcast. We'll see you again next time. Be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes and go to jotform.com/enterprise to learn more.